This is the Queen Mary, a Tier 4 premium British battleship. You obtain the ship by completing hard mode in a Halloween 2024 event. I don't really know much about the ship except it's got some kind of a cool camo. It does have torpedoes, so it is a battlecruiser. It has 8 main guns, and as it turns out, it is a fire-starting monster. When I have tried setting the ship up for armor piercing, not much happened, and I lost 3 matches in a row ever since I switched to fire. I have won every single match, and we'll look at those stats in a little bit. But for now, let's check out the setup of the ship and the commander, who is John Fisher. And I'm using John Fisher because he is the battlecruiser commander. Furious Temper is his base trait, which improves battleship main battery reload time and range. Then here I went with Andrew Cunningham, Concentrated Devastation, which improves the shell grouping, and Robert Ujard, which improves the battleship's armor-piercing shell penetration multiplier, and that is because of my other British battlecruisers. This is how I've got him set up. I don't want to go reconfigure him for a HE build just because I happen to use HE now with the Queen Mary, so it is what it is. And yeah, don't get a benefit out of that, but I'm not going to change them around. And a Flammable Cannoneer is the first skill, which improves the battleship range and shell grouping, but you do have a risk of catching fire. Gyrating Drill Bits improves the battleship traverse speed for the main guns and the armor-piercing shell damage. So here again, not getting much of a benefit out of that unless I'm going with armor-piercing, which I am not. So Reformer is the third skill, battleship main battery range, torpedo range, and dispersion is all improved, and you take a hit on the maximum HP. When you select that skill in here, you take a hit on the battleship main speed, the speed of the battleship when you select gyrating drill bits right there. Here we went with Master Mechanic. Amount of HP recovered is 10%, and you get 2 repair party charges. And here I do have him maxed out, and we are going with speed as my armor for the legendary skill. Engine boost cooldown time is improved, as is the battleship speed and the incoming damage from shells, torpedoes, and bombs while the engine boost is active. And you do get an extra engine boost charge. So here, regardless of what's going on with the Queen Mary, I'm using this guy, and I'm not going to change anything just because I may not have an engine boost. So, because I'm not using armor-piercing shells anymore. So the upgrades for the ship: main battery mod 2, which improves the main battery traverse speed, and main battery traverse speed without any upgrades or anything was kind of atrocious. So, all right. So loadout: high explosive shells, armor-piercing shells, and torpedoes, which we'll get into in a minute. Damage control party consumable duration is 15 seconds. Reloads every 80 seconds, and those consumables are unlimited. You get 4 repair party consumables, which will partially restore your ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 824 hit points per second, and that is at legendary rank 4. Runs for 20 seconds, and it reloads every 2 minutes. So here we have 3 enhanced secondary targeting consumables. Shell grouping is improved by 100%, and dispersion is improved by 50%. Duration is 30 seconds. It takes 160 seconds to reload, and I'm just running the credit booster here because that's what I kind of need to do, but this could change depending on the match. And here you do get this cool royal purple premium camo. Here, let me select that, and yeah, so that's what that is. I have configured this British camo, and I will be going with this after this video because I'm not really digging on this, but I think this looks pretty cool, so I will go with this camo. But it does come with a camo. You don't have to worry about creating one. Loadout: survivability hit points is 46,850. Armor is 13 to 254 millimeters. Artillery, you have 8 guns. They reach out to 17.4 kilometers with this build. Reloads every 27 seconds. Traverse time is 30 seconds. HE shells have a maximum of 50-50, and firing setting chances is almost 40%, and you will start a lot of fires here. Armor-piercing shells were completely underwhelming. They are rated at a maximum of 10,206, and you do have 16 secondary guns. They only reach out to 4 kilometers, so yeah. Torpedoes, you have 2 single-fire torpedoes, and they reload every 90 seconds. 10,000 damage if you do get some hits, and we do get some hits here. Range is 6.4 kilometers, and they have a pretty low 53 knot speed. AA defenses, you don't have much going on in the way of AA defenses. Maneuverability, 27 knots is, I guess, okay for a battle cruiser, but they probably should be a little bit faster. Turning circle radius is 3/4 of a kilometer. Concealment, 11.6 kilometers by sea, 9.7 by air, and 10.3 if you're firing in the smoke. So yeah, let's check out the stats, and here, standard. So I've played 8 battles, 5 victories, and 3 defeats. The 3 defeats were the first 3 matches I played with armor piercing. Last 5 victories were the last, every time I played with the HE shells selected. I've won every single match. And my last match, I think, and this is going to be the highlight you're going to see, maximum damage is 106,000. So there you go. On that, the maximum ships destroyed was 3. So, yeah, going with HE here. Here is the armor. Let's check out the Citadel. And there is a lot of blue here. Suffice it to say, be careful when you're out there. It's a dangerous, dangerous place. Overview. The ship is armed with high caliber main battery guns, greater heal, and you do have a major super heal going on here, and good concealment means the ship can get closer to enemies before being detected, and that is awesome. So then the Queen Mary was a project for the 3rd British trio of battle cruisers with 13.5-inch main guns, and that's probably why you don't get much out of the armor piercing there. And it was based on the Orion class battleships. Queen Mary was built in line with the 1910 program. She was commissioned in 1913 and joined the 1st Battlecruiser Squadron. She took part in the Battle of Heligo Bight in 1914, and she was later sunk during the Battle of Jutland after taking concentrated fire from German ships, which resulted in her magazine detonating. Entered service in 1913, and there was only 1 ship in the series. All right, well, yeah, you don't have to expend very much money, no money at all. You just have to win easy, the medium, and the hard mode to get the Queen Mary. You don't even have to go into insane mode. So in some ways, this is a free ship, and everyone might as well go ahead and get it. Let's go out in a standard match and see what we can do. All right, here we go. We are in the Solomon Islands, and yeah, the armor piercing attempts. Here we go. 2 destroyers per side, 1 cruiser per side, and the rest are battleships. So this is going to be a big slog, battleships versus battleships, and then you got the aircraft carriers. But as I was saying, the armor piercing attempts that I had with this ship was some of my most disappointing play in the game in recent memory. You couldn't really get anything done. It was a huge disaster for me anyway. Every time, and once I switched to HE shells, things started popping and started working out a lot better for me. So here I'm just taking some pot shots at whatever ships are charging out in the middle of the map here. You can see the Kuma is really going pretty strong, pretty fast. He is going nose on to us. If you were to go broadside, that would definitely be a short and a highlight in a lot of videos that I have done, but he doesn't. Just seems to charge right at me. Here is the first fire that we spotted. We've only gotten 4 hits so far, but the fires are going to start racking up. And I don't know whether he damaged Con previously or not, but yeah, you do get a lot of damage with the HE shells here. And with the 13-inch guns, you're not really going to pierce much in the way of battleships. So here, the Kuma is going so fast toward us that we are going to take a shot with the torpedoes and see if we could catch him unawares. I'm reminding myself of the secondary range And it looked like 4 kilometers right there. Now the Kuma is starting to go broadside, but I am not going to waste the time and change to armor-piercing shells. I've gotten plenty of citadels in British battleships with HE shells, so you never know if it's going to happen in a British battleship or any other country's battleships. But yeah, he is wisely maneuvering, but it looks like I'm going to... He's maneuvering so well that I'm catching him with that torpedo right there, so that is awesome. But it does look like his engine is conked out, so he is dead in the water. Good on him for coming after me like that. 3 fires set with that salvo. We got 8 hits right there. We got every single round hit on that salvo. That is awesome. You don't see that very often. But, you know, I guess what this is going to demonstrate is you could have a commander that is completely inappropriately set up for the way that you're playing, and you will still do pretty well. It doesn't really help out necessarily all that much to have like a total HE build here, because, you know, I might switch to armor piercing at some point if I'm in close against a cruiser or something. You never know. I still have that option. But here, what this is proving, at least to me anyway, is with an armor piercing build on the commander, you can switch to HE shells and still do pretty well. Maybe it's a little bit about how everybody's playing or not. I don't know. But it looks like this is going to be another torpedo head. Ooh, no. He evaded that torpedo. So that is a highlight on his part. That is, wow. I thought I was going to get another hit there, but that was not to be. And I get an assisted. So here, check this out. How many assisteds have everybody gotten? You get 5 assisteds in a match, and you get a helping hand medal. Haven't gotten one of those yet, but I have gotten a lot of assisted medals. So here, that's kind of like helping people out for, you know, anyone that tries to steal kills. And if you're really good at Krakens, I think there's a possibility you might be really skilled at taking kills away from people based on some videos that I have seen in the past. And this Farragut looks like he is going to go on the next salvo right here. I'm waiting for all the shells to reload, and then we're going to go here and see if we could take him out on this salvo, and we do. And so, yeah, I guess that's the other thing, is the HE shells really wreck the destroyers. There's not much in the way of overpenning with the HE shells, not like with the armor piercing, and I think you do get a lot more damage. But we have started 10 fires, 32 main gun hits. It's like 10 incapacitations. That is awesome. A torpedo hit. Only 8 secondary hits, but we're not really doing much with the secondary. Here's another player with a Queen Mary. I wonder how well that player likes their Queen Mary, and whether he's set up for armor piercing or not. That's another thing. How many people have really come to the realization that you have to go to HE? I think you need to go to HE, and there is another fire. So we've gotten 11 fires started in this match, 56,000 damage, and we have just started with the damage potential here. And I guess a lot of that damage is going to be racked up on fires. It looks like Queen Mary player has figured the HE thing out, since he started 2 fires on me right there. But I am going to come back over here and try to take on the Wyoming and see if I could chase down the Queen Mary, even though we're at full speed and 20 knots. Yeah, I have to admit I haven't played the Halloween mode necessarily all that much. Being a community contributor, I did get the Queen Mary as part of the community contributor program to check it out. And then it turns out I did try out the Halloween mode, and in 3 consecutive matches, easy, normal, and hard, I won all those matches on the first go and ended up getting the Queen Mary anyway. And yeah, so for me, if I wasn't a community contributor, I would have gotten the Queen Mary in exactly 3 matches. So it was very easy to acquire the Queen Mary. Doesn't cost much, like I said at the beginning of the video. Just about everybody should be able to pick up a Queen Mary, I would think. It would be a little different if you had a complete insane mode to get the Queen Mary, but that's not what it is. Here we've got the high caliber medal going. 14 fires we've started. We are up to 91,000 and counting on the damage department there. And this looks like another great salvo. Yeah, 101,000 damage. We're going to power up and go around this island. And that's quicker, I think, than backing up and trying to maneuver through that channel there. So we're just going to power up and go around the island. See if we could chase down the battleships and two of the battleships now, since that one got destroyed. But yeah, we are going to power up around this island and try to get in the middle of the action there and try to capture A. All right, got another assisted right there. So yeah, by all means, let me know how you've set up your Queen Mary, and if you have a successful armor-piercing build, go ahead and let me know what you did. I really didn't want to use any event commanders here. I wanted, in this video anyway, to go strictly with a historical commander that everybody would be able to get. And I think, as you're seeing, you can have a commander set up for armor-piercing builds and still do a pretty good job here with using only HE shells, even though you're primarily set up for armor piercing. And that's just the way the game goes. Sometimes you don't necessarily need to have your commanders ranked up really high to really make a go of it. It just depends on the circumstances of the match, and I guess to a certain extent the individual play. The New York doesn't look like he's going to be around very much longer. And how many times have you come around the island to try to take a guy out, and the instant you come around the island and get your guns on target, he gets taken out by one of your teammates, or he floods out or fires out and burns to the ground. So here looks like we are going to get another salvo on him. So that didn't happen here in this case, but I have come around islands so many times that the instant I come around the island and have an opportunity to take a shot, the match either ends or the ship I'm aiming at gets destroyed. That's the way the game works, it seems like. So here, are we going to get this guy, or is he going to get taken out early by someone else? And looks like we get him. So there we might have stole somebody's kill. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So here, last ship left is the Langley, and I think my the blue team destroyer right there gets him within 2 seconds here before we can reload. So here comes some torpedoes. That looks like torpedoes from the destroyer, but yeah, it looks like the Langley got sandwiched between torpedoes from both of my teammates, and that's just how that one went. It didn't even last long enough for my shells to make it there. So 360,000 silver credits we earn, 106,000 total damage, and 56 main gun hits, a torpedo hit. We shot down an aircraft. We had 10 incapacitations, 3 destroyed ships, 14 fires. That is awesome. We got a flood from the torpedo, got a defended, assisted capture, a couple of assisted, and we did get the high caliber medal. And let's see how we did on the team result. All right, well, second place overall with 2176 for a tier 4 match. That's not too bad. We destroyed more ships than anyone else in the game. That is awesome. Let's see how we did on the economy tab. 340,000 silver credits by the time it was all said and done. And there you go. That is it for my look at the Queen Mary. And for me, armor piercing was not it. I had to go with the HE shells and start burning everybody down. As I said, the ship is free in the Halloween event. There's no reason not to go get it, and go ahead and change that skin from the purple one to the British Union flag if that's what you want to do, like I plan to do myself. Let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.